Fishers, spring's finally hit us. How good is this? Just hope we don't get another turnaround and get heaps of bad weather, but looks real promising at the moment. Very pleased with the situation. Talking to Maso down Compleat Angle Lavington, he tells me that Dartmouth's fishing well, and he doesn't tell porcupines. He's right on the ball most of the time. Most of his customers have been down there doing a bit of trolling. Really happy with it at the moment. Not monster fish, sort of 800 grams to a kilo seems to pull them up. Most of these fish are getting caught on the troll, but I've mentioned a few times before, just using the little gudgeons under bubble floats or even just free spooling them down onto the bottom, they're getting some very good trout doing that as well. So it's really worth the effort. One of my techniques I like is put one under a bubble float and cast a lure past it, bring the lure back past it, and I guarantee that gudgeon will go off under the bubble float all the time. Fantastic trout fishing that way. Middle River and all the streams are starting to improve a little bit after the rain settled down a bit, so it won't be long before the Vic streams will really kick into gear. Where we're really excited about is the Hume Weir. Some good reports coming out of the Hume Weir. Trolling seems to be very good. Some good numbers of yellow belly coming out, and off the bank with bait seems to be more consistent though, so keep that in mind. Haven't heard of a lot on soft plastics yet, but it shouldn't be too long before that happens. Got a report from Moala, pretty ordinary. There's a few yellow belly getting caught down on the Vic side, just off the bank with bait or just casting jackals, or it doesn't have to be a jackal, but any of those sort of bibless crankbaits will cover the options pretty well. Yakamito in the purple seems to be excellent down there, seems to cover the options. Very similar to a jackal, got a slightly different sink rate to it. So a bit of activity down there. The Murrumbidgee River and Old Man Creek, look, too hard to fish at the moment, but look, give it another week, maybe two at the most, and it'll certainly fire up without any doubt at all. So it's looking good. Just beware when you put your boat on the water, just be careful, because the rivers and that have changed dramatically over the last couple of months, and they're going to be totally different to what you were used to last summer. Getting a bit of activity out of blowering, it's certainly worth the effort. Still tough fishing like blowering always is. You'll find that if you drift around casting, you should do better than what you would if you're trolling, but they are getting a few on the troll as well. A few cod that you've got to release because it's still closed season, so keep that one in mind. Tumut River, wait till it settles and it should be okay. Lake Albert in the middle of Wagga, good fishing, very, very good. Plenty of yellow belly coming out of there. Burrinjuck, not too bad. I wouldn't say it was firing, but there's a few fish coming out right up in the shallows in less than 2 metres of water. Bibless crankbaits on the troll certainly do the job nicely, and also bait fishing off the bank, definitely the way to go there. Same goes with Wangler Dam, not too bad. Yukonbee and Tentangara Jindabyne, as you know, very good fishing out of those. The biggest hassle we've had up there over the last couple of weeks has been crappy weather. You get a good day, you'll catch fish, but it's been sort of in between the good and bad weather. You'll pick up fish, get a couple of good days, a little bit of a ripple on the surface, and they'll fire up for you, no trouble at all. Fly fishermen are doing all right walking the banks. It's not a problem up there. South Coast, estuaries aren't too bad. They're not firing, but they're fishing reasonably well. The snapper mowies aren't too bad as well. We're getting a few there. Fresh squid's the best bait you can come up if you can get hold of fresh squid. Definitely the best bait to use without a doubt. So as you can see, we've got a fair bit of activity around, and keep in mind, this cod season starting up, you'll need to start to use big soft plastics and also your big weight baits and stuff, and we've got a really good range of top end rods perfectly designed for these scenarios. Come in and have a look, you can't beat it. This is the Compleat Anglers Fishing Report for this week. We'll catch you next week.